Hello and welcome to Tom Bland, the host of the start of Stage 7 of this year's Tour de France. 199 kilometres all the way to La Planche de Belfi. The first stage in the medium mountains, 2 third category climbs en route, and the last climb to La Planche de Belfi. It's the first time that that's been used in the Tour de France. Today's stage is almost certainly going to see a change at the top of the mountains classification. The 20 points on offer for the first rider over the finish line is more than the previous 6 stages climbs combined. So whoever takes today's stage win is also likely to find themselves in that polka dot jersey. I'm just over the halfway point in today's stage now, into the town of Gérardmer, which is where today's intermediate sprint is going to be. After the rule changes which came into effect last year, this is a very, very important moment for the green jersey contenders. Last year they made the change and it's the top 15 over these intermediate sprint points now which get points. So even if there's a breakaway of 6, 8 riders up the road today, the guys fighting for that green jersey are still going to have to do a flat out sprint across the line in a kilometre's time up here in order to scoop up those last few points. Having gone flat out through that intermediate sprint, the guys contesting that green jersey competition have very little recovery time because the road soon tilts straight upwards, and this then leads into the first climb of the day. Only a third category, but does climb up to almost 1,000 metres. They're not really going to have to worry too much about the time cut today, though, the sprinters. Should be fairly steady up here, controlled by one of the teams. I'm expecting the bunch to come to the foot of the last climb of the day, La Planche de Belfi, pretty much together, so I'll just be sitting up on that last climb, letting the climbers and the GC riders get on with it. We could see a couple of different outcomes towards the end of today's stage. The first one, if the breakaway is allowed to stay away by the bunch, we could see a rider like Voeckler go into the yellow jersey. He did it in 2004 and again last year. He stayed in that yellow jersey for a number of days afterwards. Alternatively, if the bunch catches the breakaway before the start of this final climb, we're going to see the GC favourites and the climbers battle it out for the stage win and possibly the yellow jersey. This climb's very similar in both profile and distance to the Montferrand in southern France. It's used a lot in the Tour de Mediterranean and also in Paris-Nice. And that climb's had some illustrious winners, like David Moncoutier, Roberto Simoni, and Alexandre Vinokourov. So you can expect a similar outcome today. Another famous winner. What's a short, pretty tough climb. This by far the hardest part of the stage and also of the tour so far. 5.9 kilometres, averaging 8.5%. Cresting at the finish, 1,035 metres above sea level. We've already passed over the 2 third category mountains, Col de Gros Pierre and Col du Mont de Fourche. It might only be 6 kilometres, but that's quite a tough little climb, especially at the finish there. On the profile it says 14%, but according to my computer, that ramped up to 22% for the last 100 metres or so before this final little flat bit to the line. So that's a really tough test, the sort of thing we're likely to see in the Flèche Wallonne, which finishes up the Mur de Huy, which is also a similar percentage. So looking at potential winners, we can think of the likes of Evans, who's won the Flèche Wallonne before. Sami Sanchez, he'll be looking to make some time up here, the Escatel rider. Also the likes of Robert Gesink, the Rabobank rider. Wiggins really the only guy who can afford to just sit back a little bit, watch his rivals and then expect to make some time up on the time trials.